What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, I got a ton of updates for you. I know it's like 5:40 here in the morning, but airdrops don't sleep, and apparently neither do I. So before we get into it, just remember, nothing I say here is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research. If you're interested in joining our private group, we do have the Web3 Secret Society. Link is in the description below. Now, probably the biggest announcement that came out in the most recent like 24, 48 hours is around LayerZero. Now, couple things that we've got to take away from this. Number one, guys, I told you guys for so long that snapshot that people were talking about for months and months and months that was taken last year, that it wasn't taken. We already knew that their TGE was in June. So I said, hey guys, farm it as much as you can. And I've heard from you guys that a lot of you have been farming. Now let's cross our fingers because it says here that the snapshot was taken on May 1st, 2024. But let's just make sure the criteria gives you guys enough time that, it's not something that says, well, if you didn't do 6 months or something, that you're not qualified. But I'm just super happy to see that, guys, listen, the one thing you should take away is no one knows for sure. People will always talk. There's all these influencers out there who just want views. And I remember telling you guys, because everybody used to tell me when I said LayerZero, they're like, isn't it too late? Isn't it too late? And I used to be in every LayerZero video. No, it's not too late. In fact, it's still not too late, because the second thing is this is snapshot 1. Now, you're probably wondering why all of these projects are having multiple snapshots or multiple seasons. And the reason for it is you just got to think about one thing. What happens to a project once they're done the airdrop? And I think this is probably one of the biggest fundamental flaws. If you don't see value in the project after the snapshot is taken, you'll leave. And many projects really haven't found that opportunity. One project that I continue to be in, even if they weren't doing an airdrop, is Camino Finance, just because of what it allows me to do and how simple it is. And we're going to talk about that later. But every other project, EigenLayer, once they're done airdropping, I'm out. ETHFi, once they're done airdropping, I'm out. You've got to get a reward for it, right? Remember, guys, there is an inherent risk whenever you put your money into anything. If you put your money, like in this case, you're bridging, so it's not as risky. But let's say you're putting your money on a chain and the chain just goes down. What happens? Let's say you put your money into an ICO and it rugs. Like, let's say what happened to Pike Finance happens. Tons of incompetence on their side. They lost a ton of people's money. Apparently the pre-sale funds were not affected, but this is the reality of crypto. And that's why when you put your money into something, we expect realistically good returns. We don't want 5% because we're risking 100% of our money. You know what I'm saying? So fantastic, really happy for you guys. Hope it did work out for LayerZero. And I see Simonio saying you did encourage us to keep going, bro. Like, yeah, 100%, dude. So many messages I've received was just like thank you messages. Don't thank me yet because we haven't seen the criteria, but thanking me for like pushing people when everyone was saying the opposite. So if you guys haven't already, I recommend you watch this strategy guide so that you can make sure you capitalize on season 2. I think they're going to continue doing seasons, not just for LayerZero, but for EigenLayer and everything else. Don't be surprised. These protocols, they need to get people staying on chain. They want user retention. It's not enough to just have activity. And by the way, guys, if you wanted to take a look at how your ZK Sync is doing, I always go check on NFT Copilot. I know there's a ton of different places you can check. This one is currently 0.25% of all wallets. This is one of my many wallets on this. 50k volume, 12 months. 10 source chains. Follow the strategy I told you guys, right? Like, not really focus on burning too much fees. One thing I will tell you guys, so none of these checkers are perfect, because even within the LayerZero scan, it doesn't pick up everything. So there are some chains that are kind of active that also should be included. We're going to see how the team handles all of that. Now, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is Dimension, and the NIM airdrop. So you guys already know that by staking Dimension, we're eligible for a ton of airdrops. NIM was probably the first actual airdrop in that it went exactly to our wallets. We didn't have to click any buttons to claim. Yes, we had to agree we wanted it beforehand. We just put the wallet address to confirm, and then they're like, perfect, we'll airdrop it then. Well, what has happened was, every time I use this portal, it's always kind of not the best experience, obviously, because it's a bit of a hybrid between MetaMask and Kepler. But because when you have a ledger, it allows you to switch between both without any issue. So all you got to do is, if you want to check out your NIM allocation, if you haven't already, go to the Dimension portal. Link is here. In fact, I've linked the NIM portal. You click on search rollups, and there's only one right now. So you click this, you click NIM. The price has actually been cratering. So I had sold all of my NIM. By the way, guys, just so you know, my plan was actually, I didn't sell all my NIM, but basically I sold majority of my NIM around like 29-30 cents yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And or sorry, May 1st. It was likely May 1st. Yeah, so 2 days ago, because it's Friday now. So it would have been yesterday if I made this video earlier. But basically, it came out and there was a delay because of IBC transfers. So what had happened was, we were in the Discord talking about strategy, and basically, if the price held, I was going to sell. At this price, it's not worth selling, in my opinion. Obviously, there were some high APRs as well. So it's 216. This is up to like 4,000% for the first period of time. But I don't like staking tokens if I'm not fully sure about what they can offer. And my strategy has always been with airdrops and with things I invest in, like ordinals and such. I always want to pay off the underlying asset. So for myself, I was buying a ton of Dimension. And in this case, I even bought some more Dimension. I swapped all my NIM. I swapped the majority of my NIM token across my wallets into Dimension. And typically what I'll do is I will sell off whatever airdrops I'm not 100% certain on, just to pay off the underlying asset that qualified me for it. That way, it's sort of like removing your cost basis or bringing that cost basis down to zero. It's just sort of a thing that I do because I want to basically de-risk, right? So when I bought the runestone on in Bitcoin, I was buying them. When I was like selling their airdrops, perfect. It was just literally paying off the runestone. So I'm like, okay, great. My runestone effective cost is like basically free. You know what I'm saying? So that's sort of how we do it. If you're interested in staking, all you got to do is click the staking button here. They've added a bunch more validators. They only had 3 the other day. I would still go with NIM Foundation. Because there's nothing else here that sort of, that stands out. However, if StakeZero joins, I would probably stake under him. But until then, NIM Foundation's okay. The beauty about this is you click on this, you hit stake. Oh, my wallet's not connected. But when you hit stake, you can stake now, and you can redelegate once sort of another option comes up, because you're not going to redelegate more than once, right? And then you can do governance. Now, if you want to do any sort of trades and stuff, all you got to do is go to the top. There's a transfer button, but I just go to liquidity, hit the swap button, and you can literally do that whatever here. So you can select NIM over here if you have NIM token, and you can swap it for USDC, or you can swap it directly for Dimension, which is what I did. And then I stake my Dimension. So very, very simple. Next thing here is around EigenLayer. So EigenLayer basically had, every time some like Ethereum layer 2 or Ethereum staking thing announces an airdrop, we thought this would be big. And you guys probably saw my video on EigenLayer. Wasn't too happy about it. Thankfully, they did address some changes. So, they did come back with a different proposal. So they said, hey, we want to convey our heartfelt thanks. I think they saw like 13% of wallets withdraw, which ironically represented 0.25% TVL. So, not the worst, but obviously they want more unique active users. So now basically, they are basically adding additional 100 Eigen token to more than 200,000 users. And this is to make up for the fact that there was tons of high gas costs, right? So look, remember, when we were staking EigenLayer back in like December, Jan, Feb, there was no EIP 4844, or whichever the one that, came up with, whichever the one which is reducing gas through the blobs, right? So with that additional like blob space and whatever, that didn't exist at the time. So gas was much more competitive. and much more expensive. And we were doing it on Ethereum. So there was a massive price to pay. So basically, 100 more Eigen was added to all users who's interacted with EigenLayer before April 29th, and that's going to be reflected in allocations claimed after May 10th. So basically going to see all of this stuff. They said after simple Cyber filtering, interesting on that. To disincentivize industry-grade Cyber farms from abusing protocol, we unfortunately can't extend this to any users who stake after the announcement date. The disincentivization was a key rationale for the original Cyber neutral distribution. Exactly. So they listen to users. Now, they have sort of a lockup period. So investors in the team remain in full lockup for 1 year after Eigen is transferable for the community. Then they unlock at 4% per month. Good to know. Timeline earlier in the week, we announced that Eigen will be unlockable after new features are live and further decentralization is achieved. It'll be around September 30th where we can sell our token, and finally testnet opera allocation is coming, which, you know, I didn't do any of that, so whatever about that. But yeah, not a bad thing. Obviously for us, the main question is, are we going to be able to claim? And by the way, guys, if you haven't been able to check your EigenLayer allocation, there's another way to do it. If your website is blocked, go to DeFi Llama airdrops, click on check airdrops for address. Then it'll pop up with a address thing, and you see here. So I got 75 EigenLayer. This is obviously before the extra 100 gets added, because I'm below 100, so hopefully you know that. And most of my like massive volume, I put in like somewhere like 20 ETH on March 15th, which ironically was the date of the snapshot, right? Like that's when the snapshot was taken. So I don't earn anything. So I'm looking forward to two things. Number one, what phase two looks like. So any pendle allocation that I get, and then the other part of it being like, okay, great, the second season of EigenLayer. The next update is on Jupiter. So in the Web3 Secret Society, I had let the group know that there were going to be a Jupiter vote coming in a day and a half or about a day. So we actually bought in around this price where it was like 87 cents. Yeah, so 87 cents, and went all the way up to like $1 or whatever. So, you know, a decent like 15-20% jump. I mean, I also staked a bunch of Jupiter, so I got like 1,000 something, 1,100. You know, obviously want more. I have some spread across some wallets, but basically, if you haven't already, go in here, go to the voting. You can vote for all three. These airdrops are all linear. So linear in the sense of rewards. So definitely worthwhile going ahead and doing that if you haven't already. This stuff wraps up on May 5th. So the next thing that happened earlier yesterday was around Mitosis. They had their second epoch. And basically the way it worked out was we saw the first epoch. If you don't remember it, it was Epoch 1. They had 1,000 LRT tokens, right? Split across Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimus, and Manta, and Node. Minted out, or not minted out, but basically deposits caps were reached within an hour. This time, within 3 hours, Epoch 2 was full. I was on some calls, so I was only able to do the Ethereum and Arbitrum one. Optimus and Manta only had like 10 ETH allocation as well. I was trying to do it. It kept approving but never going through. Don't know why. Mode, I was like, I'm gonna fade that, so forget it, because I want these 4. But hey, you know what's nice about this is you earn a bunch of points by doing the yield, but you also earn a bunch of badges doing a bunch of other things. So you can be part of their Discord. I have a video on this, so you check it out. I think it's pretty good. I have my referral link in the description below if you want to get involved. But yeah, so it kind of maxed out in 3 hours. And as a reminder, this is tied to EtherFi. So you get 2x EtherFi points, you get 1x EigenLayer, you get the yield, and you get Mito points, and you get access to their, I think it's their test net or their main net early on. Okay. The next one is have to do with power level 9,000, you know, reference from Dragon Ball Z. This one was actually one where I'm like, all right, you know what? They finally got me. One where I actually have a bit of regret. So Saga was an airdrop that I earned, you know, during the bear market. The qualification was more in the bear market than the bull market, but it was because I was sort of stacking my atom. And this is a project that basically has told everyone for the longest time, loyalty matters, right? Literally, it was like loyalty matters, loyalty matters, loyalty matters. Well, I knew they were doing a snapshot, and we all knew they were doing an airdrop, and I thought their airdrop would be piddles, wouldn't be worth much. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I am not touching it. Once again, I sold it for dimension. Well, surprise, surprise. that snapshot, anyone who staked over at least 101 Saga token, or anyone who's staked at least 95% of their airdrop gets to 4x that amount, which is absolutely insane. So like if you staked 100 Saga tokens, you get 400 Saga tokens. Like if you stake 95% or more of it, or if you had like 1,000 tokens airdrop, or 1,000 you staked, great, you get 4x whatever that Genesis drop was. So that's pretty sick, you know. Definitely was like, oh my god, like I mean, you can never know these things. Obviously, looking back at it, you're like, obviously, like they're rewarding loyal people. Now you know what's gonna happen. I like this from another aspect of it. Hopefully, people start being like, wait, if I hold the airdrop, maybe I'll get rewarded somewhere else too, right? So maybe there is some sort of downstream play into this. But as much as I'm like, hey, I missed out on this one, like honestly, like this is why you've got to like sort of, you've got to make the decision yourself if you want to sort of buy, sell, stake, whatever, because you can never predict all of these things. But the fact that they 4x your airdrop, like I'm like, damn it. I threw away like $1,200. Like I didn't get much. I got like, what was like $300 worth, and the Saga token had halved in value anyways. But still, like I would still be up obviously by doing so, right? And that's just the first of many airdrops. But yeah, pretty cool. You know, kudos to the team. It's a very innovative thing they've done, and I really hope other teams also pick that stuff up. Speaking of, you know, projects that have done a bit of a rebound, you guys also know that we kind of claimed our Camino Finance token earlier this week, and they launched their staking, and you know the token like completely got obliterated. But unlike Parcel and unlike Wormhole, the token is actually somewhat rebounded. So like the token had dumped all the way down to like 3.4 cents. You know, just it's been rising ever since, right? Like this is actually a really good really good chart, really like awesome. Like the market cap is 87.3 mil. Once all their tokens are in play, it's worth like 873 million. I think this is undervalued, of course, just because of how good the protocol is. Like I said, this is probably one of the few protocols that I would actually use consistently, even if they don't have an airdrop. Like obviously them having an airdrop even helps me out even more because I'm doubly earning. But I do like their money market. I love their UI. They make it super easy, super simple. And so I have a position on many wallets. This is one of them, the one that I have attached to the ones I'm showing you here. Basically, here I got like 6,000 Camino staked. I got like what is this? About $9,000 worth of Sol on here. So yeah, so not bad, you know. I really like Camino Finance. I honestly don't see the value in Parcel. When people ask me, should I farm Parcel? I'm like, why do you want to learn about real estate? Why don't you just learn about the Ethereum Bitcoin chart and start farming orderly network? You know, that's the ticket. You know what I'm saying? This is sort of what I would recommend you guys do. Finally, the last thing I'd say here is BTC rewards are live. The longest time whenever I was doing ordinal transactions and whatever, this is like, it always took me to this page that never moved. And now they finally are able to give you the diamonds. And by the way, guys, if you ever want to sell the diamonds, you can go on Whales Market, sell that stuff. The only problem I have with Whales Market is they hold your money as well as that token, or not that token, but they hold your money as collateral. And they've been holding my money for other set of diamonds for Magic Eden for about like 2 to 3 months now as well. So it's not always the best solution. I also don't know how it works when it comes to like these, how like we can't trade these diamonds or whatever, right? So who knows? But just so you guys know what it looks like, if I go here, you know, just go to like Bitcoin, you go to like the Magic Eden rewards, you click claim diamonds, and you see here. So this is one of my wallets. So this is one that I've been buying some runestones on. Your wallet is eligible as about to trade diamonds. Yeah, you hit next. Great. You see here, volume traded like 0.56 BTC, number of trades, collections, blah blah blah. Next. Yeah. So I get like 50,000 diamonds, 25 claim now, 25 bonus. So yeah, we'll do that stuff. They always want you to do this like whatever, you know what I mean? And I just do this. I just hit that button. Who cares? All right, cool. And close. I don't want to show up here, but that's awesome. So guys, I really want to thank you guys for watching. Michael, I know you're asking about After Finance. I don't have time to cover it today, but I will cover it in an AMA. Maybe I'll do one this weekend. I'm going to be away from home, but I'm taking my laptop. We'll see what's cooking. I'm about to go on a trip, so my friend's about to pick me up. So just chilling here. Crypto man, don't worry. We'll figure out how to claim EigenLayer. Like, I'm not worried about it yet. We got 120 days from May 10th or whatever. Just like my thing here for you guys is just like, let's not show EigenLayer what the solution is yet, because I'm sure there's many. If we start showing all those solutions and finding it, they're gonna patch it up, and we don't want that. And yeah, so many of Forex is pretty dope. And Black Boku, appreciate you. Thanks so much. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Like as always, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.